You know that feeling? The lights in the theater go down, the curtain rises, and for just a second, before anyone says anything, what's the very first thing that starts telling the story? It's not an actor. It's not a line of dialogue. It's the stage itself. So let's dive into that idea.
I mean, really think about it. What if that room, the furniture, the light that's filtering through a window, what if all of it is basically a silent narrator, dropping clues about the world we're about to step into and the conflicts that are just waiting to explode? That's the big question we're going to tackle.
Okay, so let's get a quick definition on the table. Stage setting is pretty much everything you see that isn't a person. It's the scenery, the props, the very layout of the space. But, and this is the important part, it's never just a pretty background.
Right. This gets to the heart of it. A stage set isn't just passive decoration. It's an active system. It's like a visual language that is constantly pumping out meaning and totally shaping how we, the audience, see everything that happens inside of it. And that brings us to the core idea for this whole explainer, the stage setting. It's the play's silent narrator. It communicates themes, it hints at a character's psychology, and it lays out all these hidden conflicts without ever saying a single word. It's telling a story with space, with shape, and with shadow.
All right, so to really see how this works in practice, let's jump into our first case study. We're going to start with realism and a really intense domestic drama called Night Mother.
You know, in stage design, there's often this push and pull between two big approaches. On one side, you've got realism, which is all about physical accuracy, making the world on stage look exactly like the real world. And on the other side, there's symbolism, which cares way more about emotional truth than literal reality. Night Mother is an absolute masterclass in realism.
So the entire play happens in one single, incredibly detailed kitchen and living room, and it never, ever changes. Now, that's not boring. It's a trap. That static, unchanging space, it mirrors the character's emotional confinement, the psychological freight train of the tragic plot, and this deep, suffocating claustrophobia. The realism makes the whole thing feel completely inescapable.
Okay, now let's do a complete 180. We are leaving the hard, sharp lines of realism behind and stepping into the hazy, emotional world of Tennessee Williams' The Glass Menagerie.
Williams actually called this a memory play, and that tells you everything. The set is not supposed to be a perfect photograph of an apartment. Nope. Instead, it's all filtered through the hazy, subjective, and frankly unreliable memory of the narrator, Tom. The space feels fluid and suggestive, not solid and real.
This is it, exactly. The set becomes a physical extension of memory. The famous fire escape is the perfect example, right? It's not just a set of stairs. It's this powerful symbol of a desperate need to escape a stifling life, but it also represents the feeling of being trapped just outside of real freedom.
And oh, the lighting plays such a massive role here. You've got these gauze curtains and dim, selective lighting that creates this dreamlike atmosphere. And you'll notice how the character Laura is often isolated in this soft, glowing light. That's not realistic at all. It's purely symbolic. It visually shouts her fragility and her emotional distance from the harsh world around her.
So, we've gone from the rich detail of realism to the dreamy haze of symbolism. Now, for our third case study, we're pivoting to the stark, powerful world of minimalism in Edward Albee's The Zoo Story.
That's it. The entire set for this unbelievably intense, philosophical, and confrontational play is one single park bench.
But see, this isn't about having no set. Minimalism is all about the concentration of meaning. By stripping everything else away, the play forces our absolute, undivided attention onto the characters, their words, and the explosive ideological battle between them. There's literally nowhere else to look.
So what happens to that bench? That simple object completely transforms. It becomes the battleground for an existential showdown. It becomes a symbol of how you can be completely alone in a crowded public place. And it becomes this tiny little stage where the rules of social hierarchy are fought over, literally, to the death.
Okay, so we've looked at realism, symbolism, and minimalism. Let's pull all these threads together. Let's ask the big question. What are the key functions of this silent narrator? Why does the setting matter so much?
At the end of the day, it really boils down to 4 crucial jobs. First, boom, it instantly tells us where and when we are. Second, it physically shapes how the actors move and interact. You can see who has power, who's trapped. Third, and we've seen this in every example, it visually reinforces the play's biggest themes and conflicts. And finally, before anyone even utters a word, it creates the atmosphere and the mood for the entire story.
I think this quote just sums it all up perfectly. The physical space of the stage is a channel for communication. It's just as vital and expressive as the script itself. Theater doesn't just speak through words, it speaks through space.
So the next time you find yourself sitting in a theater and the lights come up, I want you to ask yourself this question. Before a single character walks out, before a single word is spoken, just listen. Listen to what that silent narrator, the stage itself, is already telling you. What story has already begun?